Challenger. Very good atmosphere, as there invariably is at the Crucible. Better still, of course, once the one-table stage of the competition is reached. And what a marvellous home for the championship this has been ever since it came here in 1977. Seemed a rather dull contact, cue ball and object ball there.
Yes, he missed the pot by quite a distance, but didn't get the screw back with the white either, so, but not having the ball clean, so probably just a bad shot by Stephen.
One.
And certainly after winning the last two frames, Nigel's confidence will be growing. So, chance to put a few points together, but the difficult part, of course, is the pink and black are both tied up.
Six. Seven.
Well, the crowd has certainly got behind Nigel. Not that they don't want Stephen to win, they just want this match to be played all night tonight, if possible.
13.
I think it's long odds against that, but the more frames Bond wins now, the longer it will last this evening.
18.
The worst that can happen to him will be that he'll walk off with a cheque for £115,000, easily the biggest of his career. That'll buy a new bonnet for his new baby.
Well, that shot there has just opened the game up, brought the black into play. Stephen just looking at a possible plant down to right corner. Obviously it's not, so he'll be playing a safety shot.
Has covered the most dangerous reds.
Yes, and that's what that little rub of the green, it just feathered the yellow and fell behind the brown. Had it missed the yellow, Nigel would have been able to get through to the reds over the right corner. Now he may be forced to, if he can hit it, to attempt this red. And this is a tough one.
So the rub of the yellow not only saved Hendry, but has provided him with an opportunity.
One.
Position gone completely haywire. Hendry was hoping that the cue ball would slide off the reds. Self-inflicted snooker, and he would like to cover the reds nearest the right corner.
Yes, and should he nominate any other colour other than the black, it would be a miss would be given, because he can hit the object ball, which could be the black. So if he nominates yellow and misses it, a miss would be called.
One, Stephen Hendry.
But hasn't covered the dangerous red.
One.
Well, rather fortunate there for Nigel. Nice kiss on the yellow. So one good positional shot here, and took him for a reasonable break. Pink and black are now both available.
Foul.
Well, what a mistake.
One, Nigel
by
4, Stephen Hendry.
Yes, jabbed underneath the cue ball. Hence the foul. Wasn't a smooth stroke.
Thank you. One. Seven.
I don't think that Hendry has been able to maintain quite the same edge of motivation in the last couple of frames, but you won't want to let things slide too far.
Yes, and he's been looking at the black here. He wants to get the black back on its spot, which would then be available into both corners, and well, the way he's been playing, he gets this black on now, certainly a sizable break loose on.
$15. 16. 23.
I think Stevens looking at the red two below the pink, so that when he pots it, he'll finish on the black but split those two reds as well.
24.
So now virtually all the reds in potable positions.
Perfectionist that he is, he would have been disappointed not to have bounced the cue ball a little further from the side cushion. Going to raise the butt of the cue.
Well, what a shot that was.
32.
Most players would have been happy to just drop that red in. That was a terrific shot.
39. 40.
Just checking to see if the red will pot into the right centre. If it won't, it must pot into this left-hand corner. Got to pot into one of the pockets.
May have played to move it there, knowing that he'd be on this one if he didn't.
48.
And I think he's decided the red will pot into this left-hand corner. But he may elect to go for one of these two near the back cushion here. Well, certainly a chance here of bringing the other red into play if he wishes.
56.
Doesn't need to.
Had to get the cannon that time.
63.
And he wanted to cannon the pink, not the red.
64.
Well, at the worst position, it could have gone a little straight on the black.
71.
So again, middle pocket, and again, the best player in the world at these shots. Well, that was some distance
71,
off.
Stephen Hendry, and the break.
The 71 break extends Stephen Hendry's lead. He now leads by 15 frames to 8, and now needs only 3 more to win the world title for the 5th time in 6 years. In my opinion, Stephen Hendry is the finest player the game has ever seen. You look at his record, his statistics, and the fact that he has achieved them in the most competitive era snooker has ever known. Some great players have won that trophy, which incidentally was purchased from the entry fees of the players who entered that first championship, which ran through the 1926-7 season. Joe Davis was the moving spirit behind that championship, together with his friend Bill Camkin, a Birmingham billiard trader, and Joe Davis won that title 14 times, spread over 20 years.